Hello, wonderful beings. Welcome to Wheel of Wisdom, episode number 89. I am so happy to have you here. Thank you for choosing to spend your time with me. So, this is our Wheel of Wisdom, and this wheel contains the name of 31 books out of the many books that I've read in my own journey in the past 8 years. So, some books are like very, very old, some are new ones. So, yeah, a mix of everything. So, before I spin the wheel, I invite you guys to take a moment to bring to your mind if there is anything specific in your life regarding which you would like some guidance. So, take a moment to think about a specific issue that you're dealing with, a specific area in which you would like to grow. And if there is nothing specific, then simply set an intention that I am open to receive some general guidance for today. So, yeah, once you think of something, then you can press the heart to let me know that, yeah, Anisha, we are ready for the wheel. Hmm. Okay, someone has thought of something good. Okay, we are getting a lot more hearts. So it seems like you guys have thought of something regarding which you would like to receive some guidance on. So yeah, maybe cheers to that. It's simply water. But yeah, maybe hydrate yourself and then that's when. Hi, Silverback. Nice to see you here. Okay, so let's spin. Silverback says, hope you're well. Yeah, I am. Thank you for asking. Okay. So bring that, whatever it is that you need guidance on in your mind, and let's spin. Okay, a pretty large book. Let me see. Oh, so the book that came up for all of us is The Gifts of Imperfection. So it is a pretty famous book, and I hope that you might have heard of it. And if you have read it and maybe reread it, like some of the many other books on this wheel, then let this reading, whatever is going to come through, be a reminder of the most important lesson that you need to be reminded of at this point in your life. So, the whole title of this book is The Gifts of Imperfection. Let go of who you think you are supposed to be and embrace who you are. So before even diving into the reading, I hope that you let this stay with you as you move about your day, that you let go of all those expectations, rules, criterias, everything regarding who you are supposed to be and be who you truly are. Be the fullest expression of yourself. So this book has been written by Brené Brown. Let's see. Okay, give me a second to open the book and then we will begin. So, in a moment from now, I am going to give you certain numbers between which I'm going to ask you to choose. Okay, and I don't want you guys to rush at all. Hmm. Okay, because I'm not going to choose a number that is like at the top. Instead, I go through all your numbers, which you give me based on, what your intuition is feeling called to. And then I choose a number randomly out of those to which my intuition feels called to. So in that way, we get to tap into, both all of our collective wisdom. Okay. So I invite you guys to choose a number between 32 to 80. Hi, Alicia. Ah, kind of a similar name to mine. So Alicia says, Hi, Anisha. First time here. Melbourne, Australia. Wonderful. Thank you for dropping in a hi and letting me know of your lovely presence here, Alicia. And yeah, and I really hope that you receive whatever it is that you need to hear most in this moment of your life, Alicia. So, yeah, so, feel free to drop in a number, whatever number that you feel called to. Okay, we have a number from you as well. Wonderful. So, thank you, Lisa, Nicole, Tara, Caitlin, and Alicia for choosing a number for all of us. Thank you, Manu. Okay. So maybe one more sip of water and then, we can begin. And until then, everyone can, drop in their numbers. It's interesting. Every time I drink water, we have a few hearts. And I really like that, I don't know what you like about it, the pause in between all the talk or the nourishing ourselves part, the taking care of ourselves part, whatever it is. So yeah, it's nice to see the hearts. Okay, so we have some more numbers. Thank you, Michelle, Kirsten. Michelle says happy to be here and happy to have you here, Michelle. Thank you for choosing to spend your time and energy with us. Okay. Oh, that's so sweet of you, Kirsten, as well. Okay. So now we have, some numbers. So let's dive in. Okay, let's see which number do I feel called to. Thank you, Stacy, for, contributing. Um, okay, so the number that I am feeling called to is okay, before I reveal the number, for anyone who is tuning in for the very first time, I want to let you know that whoever number I choose is, it doesn't mean that that reading is just for them, okay? They are just another source of that wisdom because universe is always, communicating with all of us. And they are just another source. So if you are here, every one of you, so if anyone is listening to this right now or maybe to the recording later on, you know, whoever number I choose is, it doesn't matter so much. It matters that you are here and hence you were received to, you were meant to receive that message, whatever is going to come through. Okay. Tara says me, it's my post. Tara, I I don't, choose the numbers based on who is first. I go with intuition so that everyone gets a chance. And yeah, and I don't go with my mind or like a certain way, but with my intuition. So I hope that's okay with you. And thank you, Kelly, for mentioning a number as well. Okay. So the number that I am feeling called to is 57. And the number has, been given by Lisa for all of us. And coincidentally, that is the first number. But yeah, that was not the criteria again. So thank you, Lisa, for choosing a number for all of us. Okay, let's go with 57. Let's see what wants to come out of this page. Interesting. I love that. Sarah says I was close. Yeah, and maybe next time your number would come up. It doesn't matter if you were the fastest finger first. We are not playing that game. We are playing the game of intuition. Okay, so what came up on this page is the heading is What is joy? What is joy? So, firstly, there is a quote by Adela Rogers St. John's who says, Joy seems to me a step beyond happiness. Happiness is a sort of atmosphere you can live in sometimes when you are lucky. Joy is a light that fills you with hope and faith and love. Oh, that's interesting, Lisa. Lisa says that number came to me before you even mentioned the range. Wonderful. Yeah, love that magic, love that alignment. Thank you for sharing that and bringing a little bit of that sparkle dust, into this live, Lisa. Okay, so the author says, again, anyone who joined new, the heading is What is Joy? The research has taught me that happiness and joy are different experiences. In the interviews, people would say something like, being grateful and joyful doesn't mean that I am happy all of the time. On many occasions, I would delve deeper into those type of statements by asking, what does it look like when you are joyful and grateful but not happy? The answers were all similar. Happiness is tied to circumstances, and joyfulness is tied to spirit and gratitude. I also learned that neither joy nor happiness is constant. I want to repeat that because that is a very common thing that I witness in my clients as well, that they say that I want to be happy, you know. And the thing is that happiness is an emotion, and it is not a balanced state for our body, So our body, like we are, the energy is elated, and that is not a balanced state. So we cannot be happy all the time. We cannot stay in that emotion. And similarly, with the negative ones, like, anger or like, sadness, we cannot stay with that emotion all the time. Those, any emotion is not constant. And it is very important to understand this thing. So, again, I also learned that neither joy nor happiness is constant. No one feels happy all the time or joyful all the time. Both experiences come and go. Happiness is attached to external situations and events and seems to ebb and flow as those circumstances come and go. So, two things, And the important reminder I would like to for you to carry is, if you forget about the distinction between the happiness and joy that the author mentions, because it might be different for everyone, I still want you to carry this one particular message from this that I, slightly touched upon, which is that not everyone, sorry, you cannot be happy all the time. And it is not to discourage you. Instead, it is to help you, see the freeness in it. Like, so just like you cannot experience a pleasant emotion all the time, you cannot experience an unpleasant one. And these emotions are like a wave. So if they have peaked, they would leave you. So you would not be stuck with any emotion for the life. And, that emotion would not color your whole life, whether it is a pleasant one or an unpleasant one. And especially if the emotion is, based upon your circumstances. Because even if the circumstances stay, the emotion would not be of the same intensity. Maybe you would still be sad or you would still be happy, but it would not be that same intensity. For example, if you win a lottery, and you are happy, you're elated and everything, and you still have the money, maybe you don't spend the money, you still have all of that money, but you would not have the same level of happiness as you go, as the days and weeks pass by. And same with the negative ones. And if you're wondering that, but depression stays, then that is more than an emotion. That is something else. There is a lot going on with that. But if we talk purely about the emotion, like sadness, like anger, they also leave you. They are not exactly of the same intensity. They comes in waves, Maybe you have a thought, a sad thought, and the sadness, arises. It peaks and peaks and it reaches the most intensity. Maybe it is unbearable for you. But then it would, slowly and gradually dissipates. And the pace at which it would soften, the intensity would fade, depends upon if you are not feeding it, if you are not feeding it again and again with your thoughts, because then there would be a cycle, because your thoughts affect the way you feel. Okay. And when you are in a negative state, you are more likely to remember more negative things from your life. So again, the like a whole cycle goes on there, and that's why you find yourself in a spiral. And you might be like, Anisha, I don't relate to that very much. It's because we are creating our own suffering in a way. That pain or that unpleasant instance was the primary thing, but then we keep on causing ourselves secondary suffering again and again and again and again, you know. And yeah, so which might give you a hope in like in terms of positive, that maybe you can create positive experiences like that, just like you create your own suffering in a way. Not the initial pain that was maybe due to the circumstance, but the secondary suffering. um so I'm thinking about something. I think I may have something related to this joy thing. Yeah, so if you guys would be interested, if any one of you would be interested to, to bring in more joy, to train your awareness in a way, or to train your mind more appropriately, to train your like attention and mind in a way that you feel that you feel more things, that brings you joy, that brings you awe, that brings you beauty, without having to change the outer circumstances. So everything in your life stays the same, unless you want them to change, then you need to take steps. But if you want to cultivate that inner state, then I do have something for you. Let me share it here in case anyone is interested. So this is one of my courses which help you see the beauty that is already here. You don't need to do anything, achieve anything, get anything, have anything to be happy, to have that peace, to have all of those, amazing present emotions, but you can, cultivate that inner state just by becoming aware. That's the single technique in this, in many different ways. It is presented with more like practical things. So yeah, you can save it if you're interested. And with that said, we are going to move to the next reading. So would you guys like me to read from, like, do another reading from the same book, or spin the wheel again and choose a different book? So feel free to, vote in the comments. And thank you, Donna. I am glad that, you resonated with some part of the reading. Okay. Oh, I am so glad, Donna, that you mentioned that. It crossed my mind, but I didn't spoke it out loud. Like, it is so magical. I didn't, and and then you did. Maybe this wanted to come through. That's why I say, I am not, delivering you some form of wisdom. These books are not delivering you some form of wisdom. Like, there are different sources, and you can be one, and I can be one. We don't know, we never know from where that message is going to come. So since my mind blocked it, it came through, somewhere else, and that's what I love about this. So yeah, Donna said that I just learned about that previous topic, the Buddha's second arrow. Exactly, So what I was saying as secondary suffering, that is exactly what Donna means by, second arrow. That there is a first arrow that is causing you pain and everything, okay? So the initial thing that happened, the initial pain, like even the bodily pain, so that was there. But then we start to think about it, or we start to suppress it, resist it. And when, resistance is added to the primary pain, it leads to suffering. It leads to secondary thing. For example, the resistance can come in the form of, oh, I don't want to feel this way, or I should not feel this way, or how could I think that way, or putting in judgments that, how could um I'm so inconsiderate because I did that. I'm such a rude person. I'm such a selfish person, So resistance can come in many, many different forms. And um okay, so since the word came up, huh? So if this is something that you struggle with, that you feel like you create your own secondary suffering by adding in resistance into the mix, then I have another perfect resource for you. The perfect one. I think that is my latest one as well. So, the name of this is A Therapist's Guide to Accepting Difficult Life Situations. So, resistance happens when we don't accept whatever is happening outside of us or inside of us. So, if this is something, if you have a hard time accepting things, if you go more into resistance, then I would request you to check this out and see if anything resonates for you. Okay. Okay, Christian wants us to spin again. Wonderful. Thank you, Christian, for voting and welcome back. I am happy to have you here again. And Christian says that when we start to worry in thoughts, I go to the breath, repeat intentional breathing throughout the day. I'm on your course. Hmm. Yeah. And what Christian demonstrated for us, or modeled for us, is that we have the choice as to where we want to put our attention. Okay. And before even going to any regulation technique or even breathing, or if, you know, breathing is a part of coming back to whatever is present, because sometimes when so our breathing is affected by the kind of state we are in. Okay, so if we are angry, you might have noticed that you're breathing like you know faster and with more force, kind of that way. If you're calm, your breathing is more slow and relaxed. If you just woke up from sleeping, it might not even, you might not even be able to feel it. Okay, so if that is your way to tune in to whatever is happening, then that's wonderful. But if, you use breathing to regulate yourself, again, a wonderful thing. But in addition to that, I usually recommend tuning into your emotions also, um, like feeling your feelings or sitting with your feelings. And if you don't know what that means or how to do it, again, this course that you might see on your screen in the last session of this, I guide you through the whole practice as to how to do so. Okay. And if you want to learn about the regulation techniques, because they are useful. So if it starts to get overwhelming, then you can use these different techniques like deep breathing, um there are a lot of different techniques, so you can use like those different techniques to regulate yourself and center yourself so that you can go back to whatever is happening, not to run away from feeling bad, because avoidance is not going to serve you in the long term. So if so in case you don't know like regulation techniques, then I do have them on my profile. So I have a playlist known as self-soothing techniques. So in that you can check out like I have included various techniques and see if anyone resonates with you. Okay, let's see. So hi Lisa, happy to have you here. And as I say, it's never too late. Maybe you're meant to receive the next reading, the next message that is going to come through. Okay, so oh, Stacy has already mentioned a number. Okay. So now, since Christian, voted, we are going to choose a different book. So let me open it. Yeah. So we're going to spin this wheel. And again, if there is anything specific on which you would like some guidance, bring that to your mind as I spin the wheel. A lot of like long titles today. Yeah, so the book that came for all of us is The Self Acceptance Project. Uh-huh. Again, going with the acceptance theme. Yeah, I love how things, keep on flowing, like how one reading or the meditation that we do connects with the next, like a beautiful, flow. I love that. Okay, so again, the name of the book is The Self Acceptance Project. How to be kind and compassionate towards yourself in any situation. So, this is kind of like a collection or anthology, meaning the chapters have been taken from different authors. Okay. So there is no one person who wrote this book. So let's see what wants to come through from this amazing book. Okay, I'm going to first, remove the course from here. Let's see the self acceptance project. Hmm, Okay, so again, I'm going to give you guys some numbers. Okay, give me a second to choose them. Okay, okay, so I invite you guys. Okay, before that, I need to remind you all, if anyone new joined us, that don't rush at all. I don't want you to, just um like hurry or anything. Okay, so take your time and see which number is going to come for you. Okay. and then mention that, because I am not going to choose the top number because that is like not the criteria. I'm going to choose the number that I feel called to. Okay. So I invite you all to choose a number between 14 to 149. Hey, cool. Huh. And Stacy, if you would like to choose another number, you can. And if not, we can stay with that number that you have shared. Okay. Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you, Rosemary. Thank you, Stacy, Christian, Lisa. Okay. So let's see. Thank you, Nicole, Kirsten, Marie. Okay, let's see which number do I feel called to from this. Okay, so before I share the number, again, I want to remind you that whoever number I choose is, it doesn't mean that that reading is just for them. It is for all of us because you are here. Okay, so we're meant to receive that message. Okay, we have few more numbers. I'm going to consider them again and then share the number. Okay, still, yeah. So the number that is coming up for me is 35, and the number has been chosen by Marie for all of us. Thank you, dear, for choosing that number for all of us. So let's see what is on page number 35. Okay, another like related feeling. Sorry, reading. So the reading is about emotion, so that's why I blurted out feeling. Hmm. So the author says, I think part of the reason we have so much trouble with self acceptance is that we never learn how to empathize and learn from our emotions. Emotions are central to almost everything we think or do. When we can accept our emotions, then self acceptance naturally follows. If we can't accept our emotions, then it's nearly impossible to accept ourselves because emotions underlie nearly all of our opinions and most of our actions. Our emotions continually tell us if something feels right or true or not. They tell us how we feel and who we are. For instance, if we are reading about some political position, our emotions will become involved. We will get angry, for example, saying, that's not true. Maybe we will be pulled toward that position, and our happiness will arise. And we will say, yes, that's right. That feels right. It's our emotional response to information, even to mathematics, that tell us what's right. 2 plus 2 equals. Our emotions tell us that 4 feels right. 5 No, it's four. Four feels right. Emotions and empathy are the foundation of self awareness. And even though they can impede self acceptance, if we don't understand how they work, they are the foundation of self acceptance as well. For me, the focus is to empathize with your emotions and other people and yourself, not one or the other. So, like, and is an important word. So, empathizing with your emotions and other people and yourself. So, including everyone in that circle of empathy or compassion. In that way, you can build an authentic and empathetic ground for healthy self awareness and self acceptance. So, some of you might be like, okay, but I don't accept myself for having certain emotions. Like, I don't like that I'm angry person or that I am, let's say, sad person, like thinking yourself of a pessimistic person, for example. So you might be like, but I don't like myself or accept myself for having these kind of certain emotions. But I can tell you this for sure. Maybe this would just be information or concept for you. But for me, it has been my own experience and with my clients. Okay. So when I have guided them into getting in touch with their emotions, you know, whatever that was coming up, every single time, every time, there has been no exception. So every single time they have been like they have dropped the hate for that emotion. Once we went through the journey, they understood why it was here. And some of you also felt the love and they communicated that to to that part of themselves who they don't like. And it was an amazing transformation for me to witness. And from that, I can tell you that no emotion of yours is bad. Every emotion is there for a reason, and all of those emotions are here to serve you, even if it might not seem that way, to you. But if you connect with them, your perspective would flip, and maybe some of you would be in tears to witness what has been happening inside of you and all the love that different parts of you have been giving to you. So, yeah, I want you to carry this reminder with you. Christian says, so on point, very deep. Thank you, Christian. I am glad that you're resonating with it and you are at that point or have experienced that. It is it is truly transformative to see that. Marie says, whose number we chose. Marie says, yes, I have begun to realize this. And Marie, it is going to be a beautiful journey where you will feel your own love. Because it's always like we are asking others for love, others to accept us for like whoever we are, however we are, we want others to accept us. And it is ironical that we don't, like our mind don't accept us for whoever we are, and it hates certain things about us. And again, self-acceptance or acceptance in general, so talk about that really deep in that course that I mentioned about acceptance. that acceptance, any form of acceptance, it doesn't mean that you like that, doesn't mean that, you want to continue having it. It means that you acknowledge it, that it's there, that this is happening, this is here. And then, then the journey starts with that awareness, with that acceptance. I think there is like this wonderful quote. I don't remember the whole quote, but it's like the awareness and acceptance are the first step towards change. And it feels paradoxical, but it is how things work in our inner world. Donna says, yes, it feels necessary to survive like painful, heavy armor. I am glad, Donna, that you were able to see, the function that they might have been playing, to protect you. And it is true. It is true, not just in concept or research, it is true in experience when we do that. Okay, so, hmm, let me see the time. Yeah. Okay, so I'm thinking, like we are towards the end, so maybe I would make some announcements that I do towards the end and also share the gift that I offer to all the women who, tune into my live and stay till the end. And then we can wrap this session with one more reading. Okay. So, so before I reveal the gift and everything, the announcements. So the first thing is that for especially for anyone who is joining for the very first time, is that this live, is getting recorded. So in case you missed anything, in case you joined late and you would like to tune back in, or maybe you would like to really hear something again, and let it sink in deeper, then I want to let you know from where you can access the replays. So, yeah. So you can go to my profile, okay? And you can go to the About section from there. When you will scroll down, you would see a link tree here. So in this link tree, when you will click on this, you will see Wheel of Wisdom replay written there. So what I've done is that I've created a whole playlist of all the lives up until now. So this is our 89th live today. So you have a lot of videos. And why I created a playlist is because I want you to have some more fun and to be able to tune into wisdom when I am not going live. So if something happens in your life, or if you just feel uncertain or you want some guidance, then what you can do is that you can open that playlist, choose a number between 1 to 89, because that is today's one, and watch that video. Whatever number comes up, watch that particular video, knowing that that message wanted to come through. And in this way, you would like practice more and more to get in touch with your own inner wisdom, with your own intuition. And that's what I want for all of you. So yeah, feel free to have some fun and tune into some guidance at your own time and have, some playfulness in it. So yeah, that is the first thing. Although it does take it does take 1 hour for the whole life to get uploaded on my channel. So if you would like immediate access, then what you can do is you can join my little community, my little group on Insight Timer. Let me type the name of it for you guys. Yeah, so the name of it is Wonderful Beings. You can either like search for it on in the search box on Insight Timer, or you can find it in my profile. Hi, Samia. Samia says hi, OMG, and shares a lot of love. Happy to have you here. Happy to see you. Okay, so yeah. So we are still, so if anyone new joined us, we are still left with one more reading, you know, and we are going to go to that after the announcements and after the gift. We are going to go to that readings, the last reading for today. Okay. The another way to access the group is you can access this through my profile. Like you can go to my profile, okay, scroll down, and by the way, like these are the tracks that got released in this week. Because in although in today's like meditation, we didn't, do a sorry, in today's live we didn't do a meditation, but in every live up until now we have done at least one meditation, and now I'm releasing them, all of them. So we have recorded around 80 meditations, and I'm releasing them as a free track, so it is accessible for everyone. So on my profile, like on Insight Timer. So these were the latest one that got released, and they are a part of like a challenge. So it is a 21-day mindfulness meditation challenge. So if you would like, to delve into that, then feel free to, go through that. And the other meditations from this Wheel of Wisdom Live is again in the playlist here. Okay, Wheel of Wisdom meditations. And the regulation techniques that I mentioned are here, self soothing techniques. So everything is here in the home page when you scroll all the way down. And here's the group that I was saying, which is Wonderful Beings. So you can join this group to get to stay connected and to not miss out on anything. Because after each live, what I do is that I upload a summary of that live in that group, okay, including the type of meditation that we did, the name of the books that we read from, and the readings, okay. And also, if a new track is released, I update that there, or if I have to cancel a live because of certain reasons that are out of my control, then I, share everything there. So, yeah, if you would like, I would love to have you in that group. And if you don't want to, you can simply like follow me to get notified when the next track or the next live gets scheduled. Okay. Um, let's see. Donna says, Samia, your new profile. Oh, Samia has a new profile. Okay, I didn't notice that. Pooja says you're from India. Yeah, I am. Okay, let's see. Samia says, new me, inside timer teachers helping me transform. Wonderful. Oh, I love that. Okay, so so maybe let's do last reading right now. Uh-huh. Okay. Thank you, Samia, for, recommending other women to, to check out, to try working with me because, oh, that is so sweet. I am glad that, you enjoyed the session, you enjoyed our work, and you found something of value from that. So yeah, Samya's session with you, Anisha, was amazing. Everyone, please grab. Truly a gift. Thank you, Samya. Katrina says, how do I access your profile? Katrina, you might like I have like put a card of my profile here. Otherwise, you might see like my photo somewhere on the screen. So when you tap on it, you would see like my profile. You can follow it, or you can search it in the search box on Insight Timer. You can type my name Anisha Maheshwari and you will find my profile from there in the teachers section. Okay. Um yeah, so maybe let's do like one more reading. Hmm. Okay. So we are going to spin the wheel again and see what wants to come through. Okay, I love it. Hmm. Like this is like a mini series or yeah, a very cute set of books by Thich Nhat Hanh. And the title of this is How to Walk. So he has like other books. He had other books like, how to eat, how to love, how to sit, all of these different kinds of books, which sound simple, but it is quite insightful. So I'm going to delve into that. Okay, maybe some water first. Hydration and taking care of yourself. Hmm. You guys can too. Oh, it's amazing. We have 108 people who joined here. Lovely number. Samya says Thich Nhat Hanh is on my, WhatsApp profile pic. Synchronicity. Yeah, it seems like you were right on time. You tuned right in time. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, we cannot like mention another platform on Insight Timer. So maybe yeah, that's why some people might not be able to see the comment. Okay. Yeah, I forgot as well. Okay. Yeah. So let's see what wants to come through. Yeah, sorry. Let me choose page numbers between which you guys can choose. Yeah. Give me a second. 12 2. See what is the number. Hmm. Donna says, do you receive a penalty? No, I don't think so. I think they just remove the, uh, the comment or the thing with it. So, like, as users, I don't think you receive any penalty. And for us also, like, teachers are not, you know, supposed to talk about other things or like other platforms and everything. Okay. So, yeah. Okay. So take a deep breath in, out. So, tuning into the last reading for today. So, I invite you guys to choose a number between 12 to 93. Here you go. Okay, Christian has started. Wonderful. Thank you, Samya. Thank you, Christian, Lisa, Michelle, Rachel, Kirstine. Okay, so, okay, we have few numbers. Okay, thank you, Nicole. Thank you, Michelle K. Thank you, Katrina. Hmm. Okay, so let's dive into these numbers and see which number am I feeling called to. Hmm. I'm feeling like a real conflict between two numbers. Give me a second. Okay, so we are going to go with um thank you for sharing the number, Donna. Okay, I will consider that as well. Okay. Hmm. Okay, still the same. Yeah, so the number that I'm feeling called to is 93, and the number has been chosen by Katrina for all of us. Thank you for choosing that number for all of us. Let's see. Pooja says, how should I stay silent with people? I feel like I'm talking too much. How I control. Hmm. Okay, maybe let's first see if you get the answer through the reading. And if not, then I can, address that. 93. So, what came up for all of us is the heading is Taking Refuge in the Earth. When we can come back to ourselves and take refuge in our inner island, we become a home for ourselves and we become a refuge for others at the same time. Walking with 100% of your body and mind can free you from anger, fear, and despair. Again, walking with 100% of your body and mind can free you from anger, fear, and despair. Each each step, each step can express your love for the earth. While walking, you can say, with each step, I come home to the earth. With each step, I return to my source. With each step, I take refuge in Mother Earth. Or as you walk, you can say, I love the earth. I am in love with the earth. So, another wonderful, like, grounding practice. So, if you're experiencing any unpleasant emotions, or restlessness, or simply would like to open yourself to creativity, walking is a wonderful thing. And with this walking, the practice that the author adds is to return back to your home, you know, not to go into the dark side, or maybe that is the truth. But yeah, we will eventually go into the earth. We all will, right? We are a part of nature, and we will become connected in essence with it. So maybe using that earth, using that Mother Earth, that loving energy from earth, it is so loving, it is so giving to all of us, no matter what we have done to it. Yeah, so with each step, we can find that we are returning back to it. We are arriving back to our home, back to that loving presence. Yeah, refuge, taking refuge in a true home in a way. At least it is a home for our body, if not our soul. And it is for our soul as well, because we all are made of that same thing. And thank you, Donna, for highlighting, that reply, that walking more than talking, so that we can release whatever it is, feel, that makes you seek that understanding outside from other people, that makes you gain that validation or acceptance or appreciation, whatever it is that you're seeking from others, maybe reflecting back on when I do this, whatever it is that to do, like talking too much or something that you mentioned. Yeah, talking too much. So instead of trying to like bring, uh, I don't know, like build a wall or something or try to just control it, um, just becoming aware of why I do this, not in terms of like not going into too much analyzing, but just asking ourselves that what do I hope to get out of doing this behavior, and then try to give it that back to yourself in whatever way you can. And this practice can be one way, like you connecting, you grounding. Maybe you need to feel more connected. And what better being or entity I consider Mother Earth an entity or being, to connect with then Mother Earth herself, like the giving, the loving, the resilient, and all of those wonderful things that Mother Earth can offer us. So connecting with that. So yeah, I hope that you got the answer that you needed. Christian says, true. When we are in a good place, physically and spiritually, it overflows to others. Our energy engulfs us as well as the people who we interact with. That energy of the universe. Yeah, if you might have noticed, if you are more calm, if you are more irritated, then you're going to inflict that. And that's why it said that the person that is causing you harm does have pain inside of them at some level, maybe they are not even aware of that. But if fear or hate is coming out, then it is coming out from a place of pain. And if we are more calm and more joyful and more grateful, then that's what we give to other people. Let's say Pooja says, okay, I will start trying that, onwards too. Wonderful. Katrina says, oh my, this lands in my heart and soul. Thank you, Katrina, for sharing that, especially since the number that we chose came from you. So it means a lot that how it means a lot to witness, how the magic of the universe or God or whatever you call it, um, works. How there is magic all around us, alignment all around us, and we sometimes don't see it. But it's nice to be reminded of this in this manner, that we all receive what we need, just like Katrina did, just like, anyone else who listened to this did. And you guys, yeah, it seems like we have reached the end of this live. And if you found anything of value from this live, if you enjoyed the space and if you would like to support me in keeping the space alive, in continuing to create resources in the form of my meditations, like, the free meditations or the gift that I offer to women, which I'm going to reveal now, then you can do so by making a donation of whatever amount that you feel called to, that you are able to, because it helps me in my journey and it helps me support others in theirs. So it's never just limited to this. I always say it's like a ripple that is going to spread and touch many, many lives that maybe you would, never witness, you would never get in touch with, you would never get to see the effect of your, love. But it will come and it will eventually also affect you. Thank you, Samia, for the donation. I so appreciate it. Thank you for this gift. I'm glad that something touched from this live or from this space. Okay, so yeah, now the gift. So the gift that Samya says, just a little, you deserve a lot. Oh, that is so sweet. But yeah, every little thing, every l- what you think as little, I don't consider as little. I think that it makes me see that you are getting some value out of it, and it encouraged me to do this on the hard days, on the days when I don't want to do this, but when I know that it is going to touch someone who maybe need it more than, you know who might be in much worse state than I am right now, then it keeps me going. So yeah, it means a lot. Thank you, Kirsten, dear, for that donation. I so very appreciate it. Really. I am I'm grateful to receive this loving and abundance energy from you. And I wish that this, energy that you're sending my way, this abundance that you're sending my way multiplies and touches your life in so many different ways. Um, Kirsten says, blessed to be here. Blessed to have you here, Kirsten. Christian says, thank you for showing up and helping touch other souls. And thank you for your kind presence, Kirsten, for coming back, because that is another thing that encouraged me to see you come back, to see you that, yeah, something is resonated. So, let me see. Kirsten says, thank you all for sharing space. Yeah, it is a collective energy, isn't it? Okay, so finally, so apart from being like a mindfulness meditation teacher, I am also a psychologist and aligned life coach. So if you are a woman who tuned into my live and stay till the end, then I have a gift for you. And the gift is a complimentary session with me. So if you would like to have a 1 hour free coaching session with me, all you have to do is message me to grab this offer. And I would love to, I would be honored to walk your journey even for a little while, to give you whatever it is that I was meant to give you. So yeah, if you are interested, let me show you how you guys can message me. Yeah. So you can go to my profile. Okay. If you are following me, the follow button would become a donate button, and above it, three dots will appear. Click on the three dots and go to message teacher. Okay. And here you can message me that Anisha, I'm interested in this offer. And yeah, you can share a little bit like where you are from and maybe two, three lines about what you would like to work upon. And yeah, I would love to help you. I would love to support you if I can. So, yeah, feel free to message me. Mm, Caitlin says, such a beautiful and inspiring meeting. I encourage you to accept the offer, ladies. Thank you, Caitlin, for recommending that. And it's always a pleasure to be reminded that, you know, you enjoyed that conversation. Thank you. Robert says, are men allowed to appreciate your wisdom too? So Robert, I understand, but I only work one-on-one with women. But I do have a lot of other resources that you can tune into. So if you resonate with me or how I offer things or something like that, then I do have like some other resources that you can check out. So I have like 7 courses on Insight Timer, and you can check them out. Some are related to overcoming your negative thoughts. Some are related to identifying your limiting beliefs and stuff like that. And some are related to mindfulness, like, if you want to really cultivate that skill and not just, in terms of your formal practice where you're sitting in a dark room and meditating, but in your life, like, you know, um, you want to see how mindfulness can transform your life because it has done that for me. That's why I went on to go into the teacher certification and everything. So, yeah, if you want to actually experience that rather than just me telling you or some research telling you, then you can check out those courses. So, I have a course like, the title of it is The Ultimate Beginner's Guide to Mindfulness Meditation. Let me put it here. And then certain other courses around mindfulness, like different attitudes of mindfulness, because awareness sometimes um might not be enough, and mindfulness always involves all these different attitudes like acceptance, like not striving, running from one thing to next stuff like that, or curiosity, beginner's mind, and stuff like that. So you can check out these courses if you found anything that resonates with you. And I am in the process of like putting more and more content on Insight Timer. So as I showed you guys the playlist, so you can check out these playlists, if This one is related to mindfulness. This one related to regulation techniques that therapists, recommend their clients to center and ground and everything. This one is a chakra series for every chakra, and it includes like visualization, affirmations, or sorry, or chanting, so that you can balance that chakra and live in more alignment with your energy body as well. And with body being mentioned, I have a series that is just coming out. Then the first track would be released, I think, on 4 August. It is about appreciating and healing your body. And the final one is so, all the miscellaneous meditations from this live. So I usually do what I feel called to on that day. So I guide meditation on that. So all of them are grouped into this Wheel of Wisdom meditation. So yeah, I have like all of these different resources, and if any resource resonated with you as I was mentioning that, feel free to check them out, and I hope that you will receive whatever it is that you need to. Okay, so Robert says thank you. Okay, you're welcome, and I hope that you do find something that you need. Okay, so Samia says, thank you for your magic. That's so sweet. Thank you for your presence. Okay, guys. So, thank you for being here, for all the lovely comments and all the beautiful hearts. The hearts always encourage me to speak and to continue what I'm doing, to feel your presence in a way. So, yeah, thank you for everything. I bow down to the divine within you all. Namaste. Nicole says, thank you always. Thank you, Nicole. It was lovely to have you here again. Okay. Hmm. And by the way, guys, my next live is day after tomorrow. I I forgot to like add a card for that here, but it is day after tomorrow. I always forget that. But yeah, I hope that you do follow me and check out the event, if you like this live, and I would love to have you each and every one of you there. Okay. So bye bye. Take care. Have a lovely, lovely day.